Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is making a clear statement in your posing. The one thing I want you to remember, especially if you're doing full body posing, if you're creating a model sheet and you want to show the whole character, it's very important that the body attitude, whatever that body is saying, that takes precedence over what the face is saying. You want the face, especially in full body drawings, you want the face to support the rest of the body. The face becomes secondary, okay? Think of it as if you're watching a film, and when you get long shot, when you have a long shot in a film, that the body should carry the attitude, what's going on. You might get a medium shot and the body is still important, but now the face is starting to come into the deal. And then once you get into the close-ups, then the face takes over. And that's why we have the long shots, medium shots, and close-ups. It's the same thing with when you're creating characters. If you want to do facial stuff, then obviously the face is going to be important, the expression is going to be important. But in this case, I want to talk about getting a clear body expression, very clear statement. And sometimes that's really difficult. And so I've developed a couple of tricks to kind of break through and come out the other side with some clear drawings. It's going to require you to feel very uncomfortable and to make some bad drawings. I do it all the time. I've been drawing for a long time, and I've gotten used to making bad drawings in order to get to the good drawings, and that's what I want to talk about now. We're going to make some bad drawings today. We're just going to explore, but this is a method that I use in order to get nice, clear statements in my posing so that the viewer can look at that character, look at that pose, and understand what's going on or understand what the attitude is without any kind of dialogue or anything like that, without reading about it. You can just look at the character and you can understand at least somewhat what's happening. So often I see portfolios or I watch students, they're getting in there and they get so caught up. They get caught up in all the things that model is, whether it's, you know, the proportions or the props or the costumes or whatever. They get so caught up in that the most important part, that attitude gets lost. And so what I'm going to talk about today is we're going to forget all that stuff. We're going to forget all the stuff that makes up the model, makes the model of what it is, and we're just going to focus on a clear statement, a clear attitude, and then we can go back in and we can start to layer those things in. And this is something that I want you to take away. I want you to remember, you don't have to figure it all out all at once. You can figure one thing out and then bring in the next thing and then bring in the next thing. As a matter of fact, that's how I often do it. Okay, so enough of me yakking. Why don't I go ahead and do some drawing and I'll explain it. If you remember, I'm going to come back. If you remember this character that I've been working on, this little mountain man guy, this is him here, and I want to create some attitudes with him. And so, but let's say that I don't know him very well. I'm not. I'm still getting used to his model. What he looks like, all that kind of stuff. And the other reason I want to use him is because he's kind of a short, squat guy, and it's hard to get clear posing with characters that are basically round, which is what he is. And so we're just going to have some fun. The first thing I want to do is let's just talk about general attitudes. And this is something that you can do if you're creating a model sheet or if you're just bored. I really recommend doing this exercise. It's a lot of fun, and it will get your mind going to where you can start thinking clearly about what represents different attitudes or emotions. So, and it requires just sitting down and kind of scribbling, and that's what we're going to do. We're not going to worry about making pretty drawings. I'm just going to do bad drawings right here in front of you, and I'm going to have some fun, and then we're going to go back and we're going to use those to create some better drawings. So let's say we have a character that's sad. I want to create a character that's sad, but we have to do it in the whole body attitude. Well, if I'm sad, I'm kind of droopy and forlorn and that sort of thing. And maybe he's got his hands in his pockets. And so I'm going to do a drawing. I'm just going to have him, you know, I want to, this to me is, that's important right there. See that? Already I can feel a little bit of sadness here. And like I said, maybe his hands are in his pockets. And you notice too, I can just get in there and make real strong statements with my pencil, or my stylus in this case. And he's just, oh, he's kind of sad. And he's walking. And walking here. And so now you can see, and maybe he's, oh, like so. There, so now I've got a sad character. I'm thinking about silhouette, I'm thinking about clarity, I'm thinking about all the things that are going to make up what makes this character sad. Put his little hat on there, you know. Maybe because the guy that I'm drawing, he's got the little animal skins, and I'm just gonna throw those on. But there's something right there. There's a sad character, and he's sad. That's it. I'm just sitting down and I'm scribbling, and that's what I recommend you do. But really try to find those statements, find those things that are gonna really portray that emotion. Like I said, especially when I was animating for Disney, I would run into these situations all the time where I would have a shot that I'd have to animate, and there was a specific attitude that the character would have to take. And I might struggle, you know, especially with complex characters, like when I was animating the Beast for Beauty and the Beast. I'd get so caught up in the complexity of that character that I would, the attitude would get lost, because I'm working, you know, I'm focusing on, you know, the shoulder and the head and the, you know, all those different parts, until I finally just said, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to scribble out an attitude with very simple shapes. And that's what I want to do here. And then I would go back in and layer in the shapes on top. This always works for me. It's a couple of extra steps, but you get some clarity in the process. So let's say, okay, let's do, let me shrink that up a little bit more. So let's do happy. We got sad, so why don't we just go ahead and do happy? Well, happy, he's like, ah, you know, he's got his arms up in the air. Maybe it's something like that. And so and I like to, you know, I'm going to think about maybe some opposing tilt. So maybe his head, he's looking up. Maybe his nose is up here. He's looking up, he's happy. And we'll make his shoulders this way. He's got his head this way, shoulders this way. And I'm going to move this up here, and I'm going to shrink it because I always draw too big. And now, just like I did before, I'm just going to, oh, he's happy. Oh, yeah. And I'm just drawing real fast. And I want that hand, those hands to be over here. Big chunky, he's got big chunky fingers. Yeah, like so. And I'm purposely doing this very, very quick, very, very messy, because that's what I want you to not be afraid of doing. Don't be afraid to get in there and just make, and then let's put his big hat on there. Don't be afraid to get in there and just do some bad drawings in order to get that clarity of emotion. Let's do happy. We'll shrink that up, put that off to the side. Let's do another one. Bored. What if he's bored? Sitting, you know, what happens if a character's bored sitting at a desk? What do? You do this kind of thing, you know. So maybe if you can feel something like that, I'm just gonna, maybe he's got his hand like so. Like that. And if someone's bored, they're kind of slouched over. There we go. Arms like that. slouched. Maybe his other arm is over here and it's coming towards us. Like, he's so bored. See there, he's got his animal skin hat on. Okay. And then I want to get maybe his feet like this. Maybe the other leg is coming out. But you can see that feet are kind of, I want to clear those feet out, get them nice and clear like so. So now look, so now maybe the wrinkles of his outfit. I'm not worried about doing pretty drawings. I just want to get an attitude. And now I want to get that a little bit clearer. So now you can look at this and you can feel, okay, this guy's kind of bored. He's been sitting around, he's waiting, and there's a bored character. Let's like so. Bored. So let's put bored. Like I said, try this, just make up characters and try this, because this is a really good, it's a good exercise for you to start putting some of these attitudes into your brain. And then a nice thing to do is scribble these things out and take them to a friend and say, hey, can you name whatever attitude that I'm trying to portray here? And if they can get it, then you're doing a great job, okay? We're going to turn those off and let's pull up another one. What if we got a character that's angry and he's chasing after somebody, and so he's, I don't know, he's like this. He's got that big beard. I want to really I want to clear that hand out. And you can see I get a lot of energy. He's pointing. I get a lot of energy, you know, in the drawing strokes, in the pencil strokes. Real angry face. Urgh. That mustache. And maybe he's coming down like this. And that goes right into foot back here. See how fast I'm going. And I'm trying to be very clear with my silhouette. Be very clear with my silhouette. There we go. Big beard right there. But not worrying about details, just going very quick. I really, I can't recommend this enough, because this has gotten me out of so many jams when I've been trying to figure out an attitude, and I'm sitting there and I get caught up in the this and the that and everything else. And once I loosen up and start doing this, excuse me, then all of a sudden I start breaking through. This is a great way. A lot of people ask me, how do you get through that block that you have? Everyone goes through that, get a mental block. This is a great way to do it. You kind of just throw all the chains off and just start scribbling stuff out, and you can start refining. And so that's what I'm doing here. So let's do angry, okay? Let's turn these back on. And we'll just put that right there. Put that off to the side. Now already in just a matter of minutes, we've got these different attitudes that are kind of fun, and you can feel them. They're kind of clear. And let's do a couple more. Let's do relaxed. What would he look like if he's relaxed? He's kind of, he's kicking back. Maybe he's got his arms up like so, lounging. So here I've got, maybe he's looking over here. He's got an arm. Maybe his arm is up here. Yeah, he's kind of relaxed. And if, maybe he's really kind of slouching. He's got a leg up. Arm down here. Maybe his other shoulder is up here too. He's just kicking back like that. And let that flow right through. Maybe his other foot is... Now you could do this with someone sitting at the beach. You know, who knows what he's sitting on. You know, if it was someone sitting at the beach, that might actually affect the attitude. Maybe he's right here, he's sitting, you know, against a log or something like that. He's that mountain man. But now, you can see, just scribble quick, and I want to get that kind of feel. I've got a character that's just kind of relaxed. It's not a pretty drawing, but it's a clear drawing, and that's the thing that I want to get across to you. I want it to be clear. That's your goal. You want clarity in your posing. And so that, I'll maybe get his mustache down here like so. There we go. And so now we've got clarity. And this, once again, I'm gonna keep stating it. This really gets me through mental blocks. Relaxed. There we go. Boom. Turn these other guys on. I really recommend this. Do this as often as you can, because it'll, and when you start thinking about some of the other things I've talked about, when you start thinking about silhouette, and you start thinking about opposing tilts and all some of these different things, and you throw them into these scribbles, and all of a sudden your poses are just going to start to come alive. And over time, it just starts to become second nature. Let's do one more. Let's do, maybe he's he's climbing down a cliff. It's almost like a Tarzan thing. I just read Tarzan the other day. So maybe he's here, and let's get his arm up in the air like this. And he's gonna be like that. And I want to feel the weight. So maybe he's, let's see. We'll get his beard out here. He's got his jacket. Maybe he's hanging on the side of a cliff, on the edge of a cliff. And then here, there's a foot here. Maybe the cliff comes down like this. And then we can get a foot there. But now, so now I've got this kind of feel. I want to feel that weight. Maybe I'm getting some tension on that jacket of his. But you can see, there we go. Let me do this over here. And then, if you're really loose with this, then there we go. Then it's okay to mess up. It's okay to be sloppy. It's okay to kind of just explore. And there he's looking out across the valley, maybe like so. Looking out that way, and he's holding on to maybe a rope or something like that. If I erase this out so that's not confusing. So now you can feel him kind of hanging on the side of this cliff. There we go. We'll get the other foot there. There, see there? Feel that. I want to feel that tension. I want to feel that line of action. Once again, this is all about finding clarity in your statements, making a clear statement in your posing and your attitudes. Okay? So why don't we turn these on? So now I've taken this little mountain man character, and I've done these really quick scribbles. The proportions aren't quite right, but that's okay. All I was worrying about was getting the attitude down. So now, why don't I go ahead? I'm going to put these all in a folder. Let's knock that back. And now now that I've gotten that attitude down, now I can sit back and I can start to draw, and I can start to refine now that I've got that clarity that I was looking for. So I'm going to open this back up. Let's go ahead and turn these off. And we'll start with this first one. Let's blow that up a little bit. So now that I've got that, now I can sit back. I'm going to shrink up my brush, look at my model sheet, and now I can come in and go, okay, well, he's got, I'm going to start right up here. I'm going to start up here on the hat, on his head. And maybe he's got these, he's got these big bushy eyebrows like this. And he's upset. And so now, I'm going to have, maybe I'll have his actual mustache hanging down clear from his beard. Maybe he's looking down. He's kind of sad. And we'll see a little bit of his eye on the other side. And I know that his beard comes out here. And because he's walking forward, maybe that beard is dragging a little bit. We'll bring his beard way down here, like so. And then we'll give him, the hat is made of furs. So I'm going to bring that back here like so. See, I've already figured out all of the attitude that I'm looking for. So now I can just come in and have a little bit of fun tying it down, having some fun with the drawing. There we go. All the little pieces of fur that come off of here. If I pull this over, you can see all the tails and things like that he's attached to this skin hat that he's got. I'll move that over back over there. And so now I'm trying to I want to keep that attitude. There, I've got his head about the right proportion. I'm going to pull this out. Now I want to adjust his proportions just a little bit. And that jacket of his is really long. So I can pull that down here. And we'll just, he's got pockets right here. He's got his hands in. And maybe, he's got that bear that is his buddy. Maybe the bears run off, or maybe they had a fight. So, but now I can come in and adjust everything, adjust proportions. Like so. And this is still very kind of quick and loose. And I would come in probably do one more pass. But right now, I just want you to see that you can go in and do these quick scribbles and make a really clear statement. And so now I've got this guy, he's sad. He's upset. He's kind of hunkered down and he's walking. There we go. And he's just walking along, feeling kind of bad. All right, let's move that out of the way. Let's move this up here. There we go. Let's do another one. So happy, let's do happy. So once again, I'm going to blow that up. Okay, throw a layer on top of that. Now let's do the same thing. So I got to make a statement here. Well, first thing I want to do, I always like to start with the head and kind of work my way down. Now that I've got something very, very roughed in, we'll do this. I want to get that nose up here. Big eyebrows, like so. Actually, his mustache would cover up probably a little bit more of those nostrils. Once again, you see I can sit here now and think about the detaily stuff like that because I've kind of figured out all the other stuff. I figured out at least that main attitude. I can come in here very quickly. There we go. Like so. There's the hat. We're looking up at his hat. Maybe we get to see that other eyebrow. And once again, I would do this over and over. I would refine it a couple of times. And he's got like this frill thing coming around his chest. He's got all these frills coming off. Or fringe, I should say. Not frills, fringe. Like that. And actually, because he's got his hand up so high, I'm going to pull that sleeve back a little bit. We'll just draw these hands in. Like so. And you can just go in and just have some fun drawing. And I'm still, like I said, I'm going to reiterate, I'm still going very, very quick. But I can come in and just have fun with it. And experiment with the drawing a little bit more. There we go. We'll do that other hand. Maybe the pinky's coming up. Maybe that pinky's coming up a little bit. We'll get a little bit more dynamic with that hand. There we go. And then here, he's got those big buffalo skin pants. I can blow those out a bit more. Make them a bit more stumpy. And they come down into those those boots made of hide that he's got. Like so. Once again, I can go very, very quick. Don't worry about making bad drawings. The whole idea with character design and this sort of thing is getting in there and refining and working over and over and over. You know, don't fall in love with every drawing. I come in here and I've got something like this and I'll go, okay, now I'm going to redraw it again. But the idea is, like I said, you want to, if you're struggling with attitudes and you want to get to that clear statement, put all the details aside and start scribbling and just find the attitude with just a bunch of scribbly lines, and then you can start to refine. Let's do angry. I like the angry guy. So once again, we've got this scribble, right? And so now, I'm going to knock that back a little bit. So now, I can sit back and go, okay, I've got this attitude down. Now I can come in here and I can start playing with the actual model, what he looks like, and knock that back. There we go. So he's got these big, bushy eyebrows. I want to make sure I get that expression right. So I'm going to bring that in there. He's got these bags under his eyes. There, he's really mad. Big bushy eyebrows coming down. Got that big nose that comes out. Actually, I'm going to bring that out. I want to bring it out even further. See, now I can have some fun with his model. Now that I've got his attitude down, that full body attitude. Let's go ahead and open his mouth up. I'm going to experiment with that. You can see maybe some of his rotten teeth in there. Roar, he's yelling. And I'll bring that mustache, the other side of his mustache, right around the other side. There, that mustache is coming back. He's walking fast. So why don't we kind of bring his beard. There we go. I want to make sure I'm being clear with that silhouette. So I want that negative space. I want to hold on to that negative space. I want to make sure I hold on to that. So I'm going to come in here. Now I got that kind of roughed in. There. There we go. Like so. And that's more of his beard right there. And he's got those animal skins. Maybe one of them, let's see, maybe we'll have one of them come down like so. And it's kind of wrapping around his shoulder. You know, he's walking fairly quickly. And I can put the fur texture on here. Now, notice how I'm just working right over the top of that rough scribble. But now I'm able to go to that next step, which is, refining the drawing and playing with the model now. And so now I'm going to get this in here. I want to get that shoulder clear and that arm clear. So make sure that's nice and clear. There we go. Bring that around. And I think we'll just put a couple of wrinkles in his jacket right there. We'll give him kind of a big stumpy thumb. There. And once again, I want to make it feel like I want to feel that negative space down in here. So I'm going to have that leg feel like it's coming right up, and we'll feel a little bit of the hide of his tunic. We'll feel that kind of wrinkling up, and once again, still staying loose. There we go. And maybe, he gets into a lot of scrapes. Maybe it's a little banged up on the ends. Start thinking about some of these details. And now coming back up in here, I can get right back into those buffalo hide pants that he's got on. There, like so. Still keeping that. I want to still make sure that I'm keeping the energy of that initial drawing of that pose. So I don't want to lose that. That's why I always try to, make sure that I've got it pretty well lit up underneath the drawing. And then let's go ahead and draw those rawhide boots he's got on. We'll just draw those right in there and do the same thing here. There, coming forward. So you can see, by starting with that scribble, it enabled me the luxury of coming in now and really having fun with this. Let's get his other thumb in here. There. That finger there, I'm just going to scribble this in real quick. There. Drawn very quickly, straight. I want to get that nice and straight and direct. There we go. Crazy eyebrows. Got to get those crazy eyebrows in. But there, done over that scribbly drawing. Now all of a sudden I've got I've got this character. And once again, I can go in and refine it even more, but now you can see that this is a process. If you're struggling with that clear statement, you can go in there and you can start to scribble out some of these attitudes that the attitudes that you're trying to come up with. Just loosen up, just let it go. Get in there and scribble. Make that clear statement. Even if you're doing it with a stick figure, do it with that first and then slowly start to build out to your character. When you try to get in there and start doing it with your character right away, so often you get caught up in those details and it kills the expression, it kills the attitude, and then it just becomes kind of mushy and you don't know what the statement is. And so this is all about making that clear statement, making that very clear what that character's feeling, emoting, what they're doing. Okay, so I hope that helped. Why don't we go ahead and move on to the next video.